Hi everyone, thank you for joining us today. We'd like to welcome you to the Rural Area Veterinary Services, or RAVS, Native Nations Access to Veterinary Care Clinics presentation. I'm Dr. Ahne Simonsen, the RAVS Field Surgical Director, and I'm joined by RAVS CVT, Gniewek. We would like to thank UFU for inviting us to be part of their Ethical Dilemmas in Veterinary Medicine course. We are grateful to have the opportunity to share information on access to veterinary care clinics with other veterinary professionals and animal welfare advocates.
Olá, bem-vindo à nossa apresentação. First, we wanted to share a few photos of us doing access to care work. I'm on the left of the screen standing by a local mural on the Cheyenne River Lakota Reservation, and on the right with a dog named Marley on the San Carlos Apache Reservation. Anna is in the top center of the screen with a Nicaraguan family, and at the bottom center of the screen with a San Carlos Apache family. Anna attended veterinary school at the Atlantic Veterinary College at the University of Prince Edward Island after a short career in documentary film and television. Volunteering regularly with RAVS in veterinary school resulted in her choosing to focus her career in volunteerism on low-cost, high-quality, high-volume spay-neuter services, access to veterinary care field services, and supporting the growth of local community animal welfare-based networks. She currently lives in Boulder, Colorado, and has been employed by RAVS since 2012. I have a bachelor's degree in cultural anthropology and a master's in American Indian Studies from the University of Arizona. I currently reside in Tucson. I spent the first part of my career caring for museum collections at Harvard University and have worked as a veterinary nurse in ER, ICU, specialty, general practice, and sanctuary settings for 14 years. This is my fourth year with RAVS.
A U.S.-based organization, the Access to Veterinary Care Coalition, or AVCC, reported in their December 2018 white paper that approximately 1 out of 4 households in their survey experienced barriers to veterinary care. This survey and others also reported the primary barriers to veterinary care, including economic constraints, limited local veterinary capacity, geographic and transportation challenges, and gaps in availability of relevant information. The RAVS team witnesses this reality in our partner communities. Without access to veterinary care, animals experience unnecessary pain, suffering, and prolonged recoveries from illness. Animals also die prematurely from preventable illnesses and potentially treatable traumas. They may also be relinquished to a shelter or otherwise rehomed because the family is unable to pay for needed medical services, or there's overpopulation in the household without the benefits of spay and neuter. A study by Emily Weiss et al. And the ASPCA surveyed pet owners around pet relinquishment. 46% of the people surveyed said that they rehomed their pet due to a pet-related reason, and 26% of those folks stated that the reason was not being able to afford veterinary care. When asked what services might have helped them the most, the majority, 40%, said free or low-cost veterinary care. Human family members also suffer when veterinary care is not accessible. The physical and mental health benefits of having animals in our lives have been demonstrated in a variety of studies. The anxiety, stress, and depression related to not being able to meet the needs of a beloved animal can be substantial. The experience of traumatic loss can significantly impact both adults and children. Also, access to care is often a community-wide concern and impacts humans when animal overpopulation and zoonotic concerns increase. Sadly, animal welfare concerns are often addressed in reaction to resulting human harm and fatality. Human and animal family member suffering are the obvious and heart-wrenching reasons that access to care clinics are important. But as you can see on this slide, there are many other important reasons to provide veterinary care to those in need. For example, the common thread between all of these conditions is that they are linked to veterinary care. Preventative care, including vaccination, parasiticides, and access to spay-neuter can prevent many of these conditions. Most of these conditions can be addressed or improved without advanced diagnostics or specialized equipment, even though case presentations can be in an advanced state due to a lack of medical resources.
Depicted on the maps are the locations in pink of the Native nations who currently host RAV's clinics. Looking at the maps, you'll notice that all are in rural settings, even though some are in relatively close proximity to major cities. All of the communities we visit have beautiful natural features and plenty of room to roam, but they also come with challenges like the need for personal transportation, geographic isolation, and reduced access to resources. Native nations have a history of respect for and close relationships with animals. Animals have played and continue to play many roles in Native communities and families, including work partners, protectors, and companions. On the right is a historical photo from the North Dakota State Historical Society of a woman with her dog pulling a travois. It's an A-frame pack sledge, which was later adapted with the arrival of horses. Historic oppression, erasure, racism, systemic inequality, intergenerational trauma, and poverty have led to many challenges for community members caring for four-legged companions. Reservation dogs, or res dogs in particular, are known in North American indigenous communities as a symbol of strength, adaptability, and wily endurance. They are celebrated in Native art, literature, and even as the title of a recent beloved television show. Our program aligns with the Global One Health Initiative, which in turn fits well with our partner communities' traditional cultures. Integrating knowledge across disciplines and cultures and recognizing the interdependence of human, animal, and environmental health has always been central to the Indigenous worldview and has recently been recognized in Western science as One Health. And that's a quotation from the paper that's depicted on this slide. For example, the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe's flag is a wonderful representation of a cultural recognition of the interdependence of people, animals, and the environment. Each motif and color represents a specific part of the traditional relationship between the community and nature. When a RAVS team arrives in a community, we have several main goals. We partner with local tribal agencies and community organizations to provide high-quality clinic services, to support local animal welfare-related initiatives, and to connect the community with related resources. RAVS also provides service opportunities for veterinary professionals and mentorship for veterinary and vet tech students in an effort to foster awareness and clinical skills to expand access to care where resources are limited. Some of our mentees are community members who are working toward a career in animal health and looking to provide care within their own communities.
RAVS is a program of the Humane Society of the United States that has been working for over 20 years to expand access to animal health resources in underserved communities via the three interconnected approaches previously mentioned. Our MASH-style field clinics, hosted by geographically isolated Native Nations communities, offer veterinary care resources via a variety of models. The photos on the slide are from a centrally located community building clinic, providing preventative, sick care, and emergency medical services and surgical services while mentoring veterinary and technician students. All services are provided for free and are offered on a limited first-come, first-served basis. All clinic models focus on high-quality services and community access. Some models focus on volume, while others focus more on mentorship and learning.
RAV's partnership principles are based on mutual respect, supporting equity, the power of inclusion, the benefits of diversity, and the common goal of supporting animal welfare in the community. Our staff and teams seek balanced relationships characterized by an equal power dynamic, meaning all partners have strengths, resources, and information to share with each other. Influence is spread equally among the partnerships and network members. RAV's field clinics would not happen if our community partners did not invite the team and take on the logistics of securing a facility, providing meals, supplying oxygen tanks for surgery, advertising the event, supporting the team in the field, and helping troubleshoot unexpected circumstances. Our teams would experience less cross-cultural understanding, fewer personal connections, and fewer educational insights if our clients and host communities were not moved to share with us. We are ever grateful to them. Oftentimes, our volunteers are inspired to continue access to care work based on meaningful moments that they have shared with our partners and the families we serve.
RAV staff strive to be allies in our partnerships with Native agencies, organizations, and community members. An ally may be defined as a person who uses their privilege to advocate on behalf of someone else who doesn't hold the same privilege, and once they have recognized an injustice, draw attention to the injustice and work to correct the injustice. We take our commitment to a community very seriously. We discuss short and long-term goals together and do our best to provide consistency in our relationships. We also maintain flexibility and adapt to community needs. Cultural humility is the humble and respectful attitude towards individuals of other cultures that pushes one to challenge their own cultural biases, realize they cannot possibly know everything about other cultures, and approach learning about other cultures as a lifelong goal and process. As guests serving our partners, RAV's teams work to have cultural context and awareness around the human-animal relationship, which has its own definition in each community worldwide. We strive to respectfully work within community boundaries, even if the prevailing beliefs are contrary to a team member's personal definition of the human-animal relationship. A judgment-free mindset is crucial for an authentic partnership between community agencies, organizations, and members, and RAV staff and volunteers. For example, when meeting a patient who has never seen a veterinarian, is significantly underweight, is infested with ticks, has signs of tick-borne illness, and is caring for her most recent litter of 8 puppies, a volunteer new to the community might easily make a negative assumption about the family's bond with that animal. However, watching the interactions between the human and animal family members and having honest conversations with the client around resource limitations would quickly dispel any questions of lack of love or desire to provide for a patient. Instead, it would highlight the systemic inequality and institutional barriers that have led to challenges in accessing animal care resources. We use a clinical case approach that is low cost with a focus on improving well-being and reducing suffering, not aiming for perfection. We believe strongly that patient comfort should be considered in all areas of the clinic and is a part of stabilization. For many of our patients, visiting a RAV's clinic is not only their first experience with veterinary care, but may also be their first time riding in a car, wearing a leash, or walking inside a building. Low-stress handling and the use of anxiolytics, multimodal analgesia, and comforting supportive care helps our patients have their best experience with us. We also believe in treating treatable conditions and resolving what we can through surgery or medicine available to us. We use protocols based on available evidence, but treat each patient as an individual, which frequently requires a creative mindset and skills. Know that in field medicine, you can do a lot for most patients. Field clinic patients deserve the same respect and care as patients whose families are paying for services at a brick-and-mortar practice. RAV's clinicians always offer referral for gold standard care when appropriate, as well as all available in-clinic options. We have honest conversations around family resources for aftercare and follow-up to ensure that the options provided fit with family capacity for care once the clinic is finished and the team leaves the community. Once we have departed, it is important that clients have a way to reach us in the event of complications, questions, or concerns. We always do our best to ensure animals are better off for having met us. Whether we work on our own or with a network of providers in meeting community-defined needs, we engage and value available local and regional resources. It's important to empower families with the information they need to complete successful home patient care. A support network makes this even more possible. Support can take the form of skilled non-veterinary professionals, rescue volunteers, or caring layfolk, and it can allow us as providers to look at the big picture of a case with the help of our client.
Seeing animals suffering and in debilitated condition and witnessing families dealing with difficult situations is hard and can take a toll on us, even if there is a good outcome and we can help. Secondary trauma for caregivers is real. We should be aware of it and that we cannot toughen our way through it. It can be very overwhelming to realize that the roots of so much suffering are much bigger societal issues like systemic iniquity and generations of injustices. We need to set boundaries and expectations and be intentional to maintain our own well-being, as well as that of our team. This is a topic all on its own to invest in, just as we invest in medical CE like this. It's a natural tendency for humans to see troubling cases and judge patients' families as being uncaring. This natural tendency is heightened when we are in fight, flight, stress mode. In order to maintain our empathy and caregiving capacity, we need to know how to keep ourselves out of the stress cycle. In the end, we really want to encourage everyone to find ways to say yes. We already know the results due to access to care challenges, but never forget the harm in withholding care. Despite the human tendency towards status quo bias, doing nothing is not neutral. We'd like to encourage our profession to avoid the mindset of we can't and adopt the mindset of what would it take to safely make this happen in the best interest of the patient and family. We'd also like to support colleagues, organizations, and communities around the world who are developing creative and sustainable solutions for the health of all humans, animals, and our natural environment. As the Lakota people say, we are all related. We hope to find more ways to say yes to honoring our relationships with each other. In closing, we hope that this presentation has given you a picture of some of the beautiful communities Ravs works with and how we strive to collaborate with them. We are grateful for your time and attention today. Muito obrigada aos nossos amigos brasileiros. Please feel free to reach out to us with any questions or comments. We're always happy to share protocols and documents so other professionals don't have to recreate them, but can instead modify them to meet their clinic needs. Thank you for the work you do for animals and their families and communities.